Hello, welcome back to another video with me, Meoni, for Final Fantasy XIV. Today we're looking at a brand new piece of Facewear. If we go to the registratable miscellany in the gold saucer on a prize claim vendor, we can buy the Faces We Wear shaded visor for 50,000 MGP. Alright then, let's have a look at this new Facewear. So it's called The Faces We Wear Shaded Visor, an illustrated periodical on fashionable fashion accessories. This particular issue contains a cover story on sleek visors of varying colors. So let's learn this then, obviously from our MGP. And as you can see, it is the shaded visor, which up until now was available in the game as normal headwear, but it is always nice to get some facewear. So let's look at all of these colors then. There's the base version. So with these visors then, one of the things that's always been a factor is that you can see underneath them if you look directly down on your character. But from a frontal sort of perspective, they will look like your cyborg facewear that you would expect. Here's the black one, which has this strip of white light instead, which is very cool. It almost reminds me of Omega in that kind of way. In fact, I think it would probably go with the Omega outfit if you wanted to. Conversely, the white shaded visor has this blue turquoise strip of color going across the front of it with that silver sort of inlay there as well. More silver than white sort of mixed together. Very cool. With the green shaded visor, they actually changed the color of that inlay design to gold. So we've got that kind of brassy gold, and then that sort of dark green, that metallic green, and then that light neon green. I kind of wish that neon green was a paint that we could apply to our armor, to be perfectly honest. This one then, the gold one. So we've got this big red neon strip as well as this gold metal. I think this is going to be really cool, especially if you wanted to use some headwear. There's actually a fair bit of headwear in the game that a lot of it is now usable by Viera and Rothgar, by the way, in this patch. We'll have a look at that in a future video, but it's going to be nice to combine this stuff. This one is the silver set then, which has this beautiful new blue neon color, which is pretty useful. Again, these are going to be useful to go with glamours, especially with the Solution 9 glams that are in the game, to make that kind of neo-futuristic design for your character, the perfect accessory. The gray shaded visor obviously is this more silver color, darker silver with that white silver inlay with those nice designs, and this orange strip of light instead. Then we've got the brass shaded visor, which has got that kind of pastel sort of color going on, almost like a peach color for the actual neon. And then we've got that sort of brighter brass on the inlay, and then beautiful metallic brass for the metal, which is quite nice. The blue shaded visor, a lot similar to the silver one actually, just slightly different. Darker outside metallic sort of blue. It's like a normal metallic dark blue. Then we have the red shaded visor, which has this beautiful sort of evil red. So if we're going for like a Sith vibe, you can get away with this. Yeah, I can't wait to combine this with some headwear and see what can be made, honestly. And second to last, we have the purple shaded visor that goes back to that silver for that design. And then we've got that dark metallic purple with a neon purple in the middle, looking pretty cool. There's all sorts of glamour that goes in this sort of color scheme as a default, so it should be easy to pull something off with that. And finally, we get the brown shaded visor, which is more like a metallic orange than anything. We've got that sort of dark brown orange color for the inlaid design. We've got that metallic orange paint, which has got this little like speckled effect, I think it is. Like is it called spackled when you have that kind of texture on the metal? Very cool stuff. And then that neon orange light bar, which is really nice. Especially when you come to things like the Sable Death Mask, which still has not been given a facewear option yet. Hopefully that gets added, because that's got a lot of potential, that does. But combined with stuff like that, because it goes behind the visor, because the visor actually extends quite a bit out from the actual eyes, normal headwear that would go there fits really nicely behind. Like, that looks really cool. It looks like an actual addition to the Omega attire. I like that a lot. One of the things I wanted to point out with these as well is that if you're going for certain headwear, you can create some really interesting additions to headwear that you currently have. Like with a Fierce Tyrant's helm, the glasses actually sort of clip through a bit, so we get this really strange effect. And of course, if you were to combine that with the Omega F attire, that would look pretty badass, especially if this was dyed, you know, jet black, that kind of look. But yeah, it looks really, really, really interesting when it pops out of the front. Sometimes it can be a little bit weird when you see this, but the mixing and matching potential of these, you know, is better in places than it is others. But it's really interesting, isn't it? Really, really interesting. I think a lot of people are going to have an absolute field day with this sort of stuff. What's going on there? It almost looks like Behemoth's had a really tough day at work. That's what that looks like. Is like you've got the pupils almost, and then the white of the eyes just looks really like, I've had enough of Mondays, dude. Yeah, the usability of these is going to be down to you if you like futuristic glams, but to be fair, if you were using this visor before, you'll probably be very happy that it was added to Facewear, because there are plenty of hats and various different things that you could combine this with to make a cool looking set, as well as armor sets as well from PvP. So all in all, I think this is a positive change. As far as I know, there is quite a few new Facewear options in this patch. So as soon as I unlock them, I'll do more videos showcasing them. But happy hunting. Thank you so much for watching. More videos on 7.3, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.